Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make 3 different headbands. Now these are really quick projects, a great project if you're a beginner. Okay, let's get started. The very first step is to measure the circumference around your head and place a tape measure where you think you want to have that headband go. So measure around and then add 1 inch. I'm using a stretch knit. You want to make sure you test the way the fabric is stretching. Make sure it does have a stretch. For instance, this is a 2-way stretch. So it stretches both ways here, going this way, but then when you try to turn it and do it the other way, it doesn't stretch. So if you get a 2-way stretch, make sure you're cutting it the longest length in the direction of the stretch. This is a 4-way stretch. It stretches all 4 ways. So on this one, you can cut it in either direction. On stretch knits, you want to set your machine to a small, narrow zigzag stitch. And my length is set at 2.5 and the width is 1.0. So you can look over here, it almost looks like a straight stitch, but it will allow the fabric to stretch. If you use a standard straight stitch, it will not stretch and your fabric is probably going to break. All of my strips of fabrics in all of the headbands are going to be 6.5 inches wide. The length is the circumference of your head plus 1 inch. For the first headband, I'm using 2 different prints. You want to take those prints and bring front sides together up here like this. And then just at one end, you want to stitch a 1/4 inch seam. So now it should look like this. So now fold it in half and bring this edge along here together. Then I would place pins to hold this edge and then do a 1/4 inch seam all the way across. After stitching, turn it front side out. Now you have this long tube. You want to turn the tube so that that long seam is right in the middle. Now take it and bunch this up and tie it in a knot. And make sure that that center seam is hidden in the knot. Place the headband around your head and bring the ends together back here. And you want to pull it a little bit to make sure that it's going to stay in position. Then take a safety pin or even a straight pin and pin these 2 ends together. So I have mine pinned right here. Now I have all of this excess. So you want to cut about a 1/2 inch out going this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the excess off. At one end, turn the raw edge inside about a 1/2 inch. And now you're going to bring the 2 ends together. So what's going to happen is, and make sure that the seams are all facing on the same direction of both pieces. Don't twist it. Open this end up, insert this in about a 1/2 inch so that it looks like this, and then stitch it down all the way across. Now here's the front of it, and then I'm going to turn it to the side, and then here's the back. For this headband, you're also going to need 2 different fabrics. And if there is a definite front and a back to it, you want front side up, bring the edges together on both pieces, and then using your zigzag stitch, stitch all the way down those 2 edges. Place your tubes to where the seam is facing up and it's in the center of each strip. Leave one laying like this, take the other one and cross it over. Then take these 2 ends here and bring them together, and then take these 2 ends, making sure the seams now are facing each other. So now it should look like this. Then you want to take your 2 ends at each end and just do a little basting stitch across each end to hold it together. Place the headband on your head, bring the ends together in the back, and pin them together. Cut any excess off that you need, pin your ends together, and then do a 1/2 inch wide seam all the way along there. And here's what the second one looks like. And here it is on the side. Let's move on to the last headband. For this last headband, again, you're going to cut it the length of the circumference of your head plus 1 inch. Your strip is cut 6.5 inches wide. Bring the long edge together and then do a 1/4 inch seam using your zigzag stitch all the way down. Place it around your head, bringing the ends together, and place a pin to hold. Again, place the seam right in the middle. Then at one end, fold your edges in about a 1/2 inch. And then you're going to take the other end and insert it inside, just like you did on the first headband, and then stitch it together. This is polyester fabric. It doesn't stretch, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't stretch or does stretch. It's just purely a decoration for the headband. Select one of the colors that's on your headband, or you can make it out of the same fabric. It's 5 inches this way and 6 inches this way. So fold it over towards the center like this, so it's overlapping just a little bit. And I would press both edges. Then take the other 2 ends and fold them into the center and give it a press. Here is the seam on my headband, and it's facing up at me right now. Take this fabric and kind of scrunch it in like this, kind of fold it into the center, and you're going to make it as narrow as possible. Take it and place it over this piece of fabric. Then fold one side over and pin it. Then take a needle and thread and tie a knot at it, starting at one end. You're just going to do a little whip stitch to hold that one edge in place and go all the way across doing that stitch. Fold the other side over so that it covers the edge that you just stitched down. Pin it down and then repeat doing that whip stitch across here. And here's the last one. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. These headbands don't take a whole lot of time. They make great gift ideas. They're great for spring and summer, especially when you're having a bad hair day. Now, if you're interested in other beginner sewing projects, please check below your YouTube screen for those video links. Just scroll down to the description section, click on the down arrow or show more. It'll expand open, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see those links starting to appear. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.